5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Fauci, American citizens, some of who've lost their businesses because of lockdowns imposed due to the virus, and who've been told for a year they can't go to church, can't go to work, can't go to school, can't go to a loved one's funeral, can't go to their United States Capitol to petition their government, and if they dare speak anything that's contrary to what you've said or CDC has said, they get censored, as evidenced by the governor from our third largest state just last week facing that situation. All the while, as the ranking member, Mr. Scalise, has pointed out, migrants enter the country illegally from 60 different countries. They're processed, put on a plane, paid for by the American taxpayers without getting tested, flown somewhere or bused somewhere in the country. It just doesn't hardly seem fair. And so I'll go back to the question I asked the first round. Can you give us a specific measurement that will have to be attained, some outcome, some result that we have to reach, so that Americans know they're going to get their liberties back and be able to move on with their lives?
You're asking for a number. If I have a number, it would have to be my best estimate, and that would be that the number of infections per day are well below 10,000 per day. At that point and up to that point, there would be a gradual pulling back of some of the restrictions you're talking about, particularly when people are vaccinated more and more, because it's a combination of, if you're vaccinated, you're protecting yourself for sure, and the more people that get vaccinated in the community, the lower the level of infection will be.
I understand. Well, give us an idea. I mean, look, you've given us thoughts on all kinds of subjects. You've opined on all kinds of issues. Give us your best guess then.
I just did.
No, you didn't. You didn't give us a time. When do you think this is going? Are we going to be here 2 years from now wearing masks?
No,
Jim Jordan asked Dr. Fauci the same question.
Well, let me answer your ranting again. Let me just.
No, I'm not ranting.
Yes, you are.
No, here's how it works, Dr. Fauci.
Right.
I get to ask you the questions. You're the highest paid official in the United States government. You've given us your advice on baseball, on dating apps, on cruise ships. You told us 0 masks, 1 mask, 2 masks, now back to 1 mask. I'm just asking you, when is it going to end? You can say I'm ranting. I'm actually asking the question that the citizens I get the privilege of representing, and my name actually goes on a ballot. I don't think your name's ever been on a ballot. My name goes on a ballot. The citizens I represent want to know the answer to when they can get their liberties back. You can call that ranting. I actually call it standing up for the Constitution, which I take an oath to uphold, Dr. Fauci, every year, every term that I serve in this Congress representing the folks in the 4th District of Ohio. So it is not ranting. It is defending the First Amendment.
Badgering.
And we'd like an answer, or your best guess, since you got an answer for everything else.
Well, when we get the people in this country vaccinating, the overwhelming majority of the people in the country, and we project that will very likely be sometime in the beginning to mid of the summer. Because as the president has said, when we get to the end of May, there will be enough vaccinations to vaccinate everybody in the country. It will, the reason I can't give you a precise number, because I'm not 100% sure how many people will want to be vaccinated. That's what I'm saying. If you get the overwhelming number of people
you gave us a guess on Texas. Look at the chart here. This is 7-day average of case rate per 100,000 people. You gave us your guess on Texas. You said when Texas ended their lockdown, ended their mandate, that this was, quote, inexplicable and would lead to a surge in cases. Texas is near the bottom of the 50 states, but all the states at the top are lockdown states. So how great was that? That guess didn't seem to be too good. What explains why Texas is so darn low compared to the rest of the states? Lockdown states have a much higher case rate than the state of Texas, which is over a month ago now, said we're not going to lock down, we're not going to have all these mandates that you say we have to have.
Yeah, there's a difference between lockdown and the people obeying the lockdown. You know, you could have a situation where they say we're going to lock down, and yet you have people doing exactly what they want to do.
Is that what is happening in the top 8 states in the country? They're just not following what's been told. They're not listening to Dr. Fauci?
I'm sorry, you're speaking so fast, I'm not even hearing what you're saying.
Well, you can look at the numbers.
I can't see that, it's too far away.
Okay, well, Michigan's at 551 cases per 100,000. Texas is at 77. Wisconsin's at 109 because their state Supreme Court overruled their governor, their Republican court, and said, we're not going to have a lockdown in Wisconsin. And their numbers are 5 times lower than the state of Michigan, which is right next door.
The gentleman's time has expired.